Hi, welcome to Sync, the bi-weekly news show where we give you a TLDR, no BS recap of what's been going on in the gaming industry for April 7th through the 10th. As always, the bar on the bottom of your screen will fill as each story progresses, so feel free to skip around. All the timestamps along with the sources are in the description, and my name is MikeyDood. Let's get started. Cooking Mama Cookstar developer speaks out. A lot of controversy surrounding Cooking Mama's return to Switch has been fraught with half-truths and rumors. That was until GamingNews publication Screen Rant got into contract with a developer who reached out. According to this anonymous developer, Cookstar had been made in combination with the owners of the Cooking Mama series, Office Create, but the two had a falling out. Also, the inclusion of a cryptocurrency miner was only, quote, buzzwords. The head of Planet Entertainment knows very little about these things. This is still a developing story, so be on the lookout for a dedicated video in the future. Saints Row III Remastered. Publisher Deep Silver has announced Saints Row III Remastered, which is exactly what it sounds like. Most DLC packs rounded up into a newly polished version of the game for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, releasing on May 22nd. On PC, like other Deep Silver titles, the game will be an Epic Games Store exclusive. New Saints Row title in development. Screen Rant caught a reply tweet from the Saints Row account revealing that a new title in the franchise is in development by series creators Volition. This has been hinted at before, like in a financial report from THQ Nordic in 2019, but nothing solid has been announced as of yet. This could mean an exciting future for the Saints Row franchise, with a new title, the Saints Row III Remaster, and a film in the works from F. Gary Gray, director of Straight Outta Compton. Microsoft events will be digital through July 2021. Microsoft announced this week that all events scheduled through July 2021 will be all digital. This includes any developer conferences, their yearly build event in the fall, and next year's E3 if it is held in person. Initially reported as a possibility, the confirmation came in the form of an email, quote, "As a company, Microsoft has made the decision to transition all external and internal events to a digital-first experience through July 2021. It's disappointing, but important that companies adapt to changing circumstances." Below arrives on PS4. PlayStation 4 owners get a treat this week as Below released this week onto the console. Below is a top-down atmospheric action-adventure that drew in massive hype before its underwhelming release. It was initially published by Microsoft and came out on the Xbox One near the end of 2018. This delay in its release came from its exclusivity clause with Microsoft that has now expired. Below has gone through a few major updates since its release, and it might be something worth checking out. PS5 Controller Unveiled. Sony has taken to the PlayStation blog to announce the new controller for the PS5, the DualSense. Interesting features include adaptive triggers that can simulate tension, haptic feedback akin to the Switch's Joy-Cons, and a built-in microphone that will allow everyone to chat in game. The controller also features USB-C, a 3.5mm audio jack, and a new Create button that Sony will expand upon soon, the evolution of the share button on the PS4. Nintendo announces uptick in fraudulent Nintendo account sign-ins. Nintendo's Japanese customer support has tweeted that there has been a noticeable uptick in fraudulent sign-ins with Nintendo accounts and illegal credit card usage. No reason for this has been found just yet, but it's a great time to make sure your accounts are secure and two-factor authentication is turned on if you're worried. Trails of Cold Steel 4's Western release window. Soon after the launch of Trails of Cold Steel 3, NIS America has announced the English translated version of Trails of Cold Steel 4 coming to PC and PS4 this fall. Cold Steel 4 is the final chapter in this saga spanning 3 game series and hundreds of hours of story. Switch users won't have to wait too long with a release the following year. Pre-orders are live now over on the NIS America website and any major retailer. One of our writers highly recommends the series, especially with all this free time now. Google's Stadia free tier goes live. 5 months after the launch of Stadia Pro, Google is opening up Stadia to everyone with their newly introduced free tier. The only requirement is using Google Chrome and having a Gmail address ready to go. Stadia Free comes with the option to trial Stadia Pro and all the games available through that service for 2 months. One of our writers is trying it out now, but it's tough to know if Stadia will be here to stay with Google's habit of killing off projects. Raine composes new music for Minecraft. Mojang have just released a new snapshot for Minecraft, and with it comes new music not composed by the game's resident composer C418. Raine, composer of Celeste, has contributed 3 tracks to the Nether update as of yet, with possibly more to come in the final release. Mojang will share more about the tracks in a future blog post. Nintendo stops Switch shipments to Japan. As per a report by Nikkei, Nintendo has suspended shipments of the Switch to Japan, as they are unable to keep up with demand in the country considering their limited supply in light of the COVID-19 crisis. Shipments to Europe and North America will continue, but we can attest that it is very difficult at the moment to get your hands on a Switch in the US. Hopefully things return to normal soon. CD Projekt Red confirms Cyberpunk on track for September release. CD Projekt Red has just released a financial report, and as part of it, joint CEO Adam Kaczynski confirmed that the company is on track for Cyberpunk 2077 to be released on September 17th as planned. CEO Kaczynski let us all know the team has high motivation, the tools they need, and all seems well as they've operated in this manner for 3 weeks already. Great to hear in these uncertain times. The Witcher 3 reaches a sales milestone. In the same financial report as we discussed earlier, CD Projekt Red has announced that The Witcher 3 has sold 28 million copies across all platforms. PC and PS4 were by far the best platforms for the game in terms of sales, with 12 and 11 million copies sold respectively. Xbox One sold 4.3 million and Nintendo Switch sold 700,000 copies. One thing to consider is the new popularity of the franchise with the Netflix series, which didn't come out until after the reach of those numbers. Cyberpunk 2077 post-launch plans, a mimic of Witcher 3. To round out the CD Projekt Red corner, news leaked this week from an investor letter coming from CD Projekt Red explaining the upcoming plans for Cyberpunk 2077, upcoming DLC, and expansions. The report revealed that the game would have equal or more post-launch content compared to The Witcher 3, so we're looking at roughly 2 full expansions and 16 DLCs for the upcoming title. The company will follow suit from their previous Witcher 3 launch and announce the DLCs a few months before the September release. Call of Duty Warzone Season 3 has dropped. Call of Duty is keeping the content coming with Season 3 of Modern Warfare and Warzone launching this week. With a new battle pass for players to grind, the free content added is substantial. 3 new maps, 2 new guns, and a new operator with more to come as the season progresses. Activision is keeping with their promise of putting in new maps and weapons for free, and keeping fans engaged with a stream of new content. More Resident Evil 8 rumors. The lid has been lifted on several developments surrounding the upcoming Resident Evil 8 title we mentioned in our past few shows. First up, the working title seems to be Village Resident Evil, possibly flipped and stylized with Roman numerals a la Resident Evil 7. A few series favorites will be returning like Chris Redfield and Ethan. The inventory seems more in line with Resident Evil 4's design with a first-person view. The demo was set in a snowy village area and seems like a grand departure, being a return to more supernatural forces. There's too much to go over here. Our socials below if you want to go check out more. Valorant breaks Twitch record. Valorant has had a record-breaking few days on Twitch, with the game breaking the single-day hours watched in a single game category record with 34 million hours watched. Valorant also hit a peak concurrent viewer total of 1.7 million, second only to the 2019 League of Legends World Championship. Riot Games clearly knows how to captivate Twitch. Of course, this time they had help from the Twitch Drops beta access, but amazing numbers all the same. Grounded story trailer and release date. Grounded is a new title from the Outer Worlds developer Obsidian Entertainment that is taking the player down to size, as an unknown accident has transformed you into some "honey, I shrunk the kids" shtick that looks way better than described. While a crazed robotic narrator helps the player explore, they must craft and build to survive in the harsh suburban backyard. The early access release goes live on July 28th of this year and looks like great fun, just on a smaller scale. Sword of the Necromancer Kickstarter hits goal in first 15 hours. What would you do to bring back someone you love is teased on the Kickstarter page for this indie project Sword of the Necromancer. This dungeon crawler inspired by Enter the Gungeon and Link's Awakening sports a fantastic art style and the goal of finding said sword to bring back the player's dead love. This project hit its goal of 15,000 euros in the first 15 hours and is definitely a project to keep an eye on, as it has 27 days left when you're seeing this video. Alright everyone, that's Sync for the 7th through the 10th of 2020. If you haven't subscribed yet but you'd like to, you know where that button is. Lastly, let us know what you've been playing down in the comments, and once again, thank you for watching and we'll see you next week here at Sync.